Hello, everybody. Hello, we got some people here already. Looks like Zombie Boy says "woo, woohoo" or something like that. Yeah, that's good. There's James, Sequential Treasures. Let me see some awesome color theory. Okay, well, I'm gonna try. And Tashiro says "hail," and then something How to Draw Comics by Dan Long says "hi all." That guy's always here. Okay, last we left my little illustration here. A little illustration. Uh, I had the mostly done. I'm gonna just got to finish up these figures. That's what I got to do, and these a little bit. But I'll show you what I did in the meantime because it's kind of boring. I didn't want to do it on the live stream, but the background. So, the drawings in there, but these are just sort of flat areas, so it kind of boring to do. So here's the sky, yellow sky, and then the way back, the far back buildings, those are the bit of lightest. Things fade as they go back into the distance. If you look at something on the horizon, obviously the atmosphere fades it. So I got a building, but faded back. And then the next one, a little bit darker because it's a little closer to you. And the side is same thing. So I just filled in a shape, a color, and then a little bit of shading to give it a little reflection there. So it looks like a kind of a shiny building. So that's done. And then I went over it with an orange color because I want to pull this whole drawing together in an orange way. But here's the building in itself. Actually, I just realized there's a little mistake here. I don't want this shine on the building. This color right here. Why is that light all of a sudden? I don't know. It should be the same color. Something's been lightened. Background's 100%. That's 100%. Oh, here we go. 68%. I'm gonna have to bring this up to 100% for a second. No, that's not it. That's 100. Huh. What's in the way that I can't get that to work properly? Well, in any case, I want it to be gotten rid of. I don't want that yellow in there. So I'll figure it out later why that's not darkening for me. Oh, I think I maybe know. Let's see if I go up to the top of my. Okay, let's try that. I had that enhancement on. Let's see what happens now. Oh, there it goes. Yep. Okay. So this background's really simple because these objects are very simple. And I really didn't do too much with them. So there it is, broken down. But now let's see, we'll go back to my background again. So I added cool or warmness to sort of blend it all together. And then I added a little bit of layer up for the stairs just to make it a little different in shade. Okay. And now this is the new thing that I added up here, a light. I thought that was kind of cool. So then above that, we have an orange layer. That's just color, changing it to trying to put this all together in a more orange palette. I wanted that. And then this is some smoke down here, more fiery smoke on that layer. But I'm going to go even darker than that, but you'll see later and as this illustration completely comes together. But back to the figures. back to let me. I finished. These a bunch of these. They're fine, but the thing is too is like I said the other day. It's like these are going to get so colored. It doesn't matter. I'm finishing them, but I'm finishing them to give myself options. So when I finish the illustration, I can cover it or not cover it. But if I uncover it, I've got colors and they're ready to go. So let me find the front bodies. Okay, here's the paint layer of that. And I can get in here and finish these guys up. So as I always do, I keep my one finger on the option, one finger on the so I can turn my brush quickly into a eyedropper, so I can grab that value. Very simple. Yeah, there it goes. This guy's in horror. This is really looking, as I make this more red, it's looking more like hell. Dante's Inferno or something there. Let me zoom in a bit on this because I can't quite see what's going on. Like I said, I'm not too worried about details because this stuff is actually really small. Okay, got some teeth in there. Doesn't look too happy. He who lives by the sword dies by the sword. So it's inevitable. That's not going to work out. Okay, John Malin is closing out tonight. First 30 days of Godlike. So you might want to check it out. I think they're going to probably do something on Ethan's channel. So, and John does not go into demand. So that means that now he'll probably do another extension of 30 days, but it's not exactly guaranteed. So you might want to check that out. And I'm not really sure how John's going to use it. He just asked, "Hey, can you do just do a pinup?" And I don't know how he's going to where this is going to go or how it's going to be used. But most likely just a pinup that he does a series of pinups often and includes in his campaigns and stuff. Oh, and by the way, Monster Island is launching today too from Graham Nolan. So check that out as well. Got the first book. That's really good. A lot of fun. If you like comics, monster comics, that's the comic for you. That's a great one. A lot of interesting comics coming out of these guys. I'm enjoying comics again, and I haven't really enjoyed comics in a long time. Okay, let's see. My first 3 comics were similar to your art style. I think the next one are going to be less detail, less zooming in, and to me, the entire year to it took me an entire year to complete 3 books. Yeah, well, that's pretty good, actually. How big are the books? That's the question. Because actually, it's not totally abnormal. That's in fact, I would recommend spending a lot of time on the 3 books. If you're doing a lot of books, that's the problem with the industry is always was the problem with the industry is they chucked out books too fast, to do really good work. One of the reasons I left the industry is this, I got so frustrated because I just wanted to man, I wanted to do really great art, and there just wasn't time. I couldn't do it, a monthly book, and make it look good. So my experience in comics was a very frustrating one, artistically speaking. I liked some of the stuff I did, but it just got it was very too little pay, too little money, too little or too little satisfaction, I should say, from artistic satisfaction. Okay, that's pretty cool. That looks artsy to me. I'm looking for an artsy look. Okay, this guy needs to be done. Well, let's see. Is this guy? This guy's pretty okay. Let me pull back. I don't think I need to do too much on him. I realized when I was looking at it the other day, is like I got 3 very similar poses, like this, and this have all got the Rosetta head, sort of crunch in, and I wasn't paying attention. I should probably make some variation in it, but it's going to be so insignificant overall that it doesn't matter that much. So I don't care. In other words, no one's going to notice it. Sometimes you notice things that a lot of people don't, never will notice, and flipping by it in 2 seconds. I have to say, drawing the human figure, painting the human figure is such a cool experience. I don't know. It just the movement, the power, the grace, it's it's just it's incredible. Once you know the basics of your anatomy and stuff, then you can kind of change it, warp it, mess around with it. You can cheat like kind of like like cheat is the right word, more like just use your imagination a little bit. All right, I like that. That's better. Maybe I'll use a little bit of blue here. Sometimes when you're doing a highlight, the sort of the standard thing is to kinda like, warm to cool. But really, one of the more effective tools sometimes in doing interesting lighting is cool to warm. And like I mentioned before, the reason that kind of works is because you have, um, you keeps your skin tones alive because when light passes through your skin, of course, it's light, and so it gives a translucent effect. This is kind of weird. I'm painting something from the side looking down, and now I should really do this. Turn it. Oh yeah, that's a little easier. But it's kind of funny, almost like it's a challenge. Like, can you draw upside down, sideways? I don't know. Now I want to know. I was thinking of doing that actually on a drawing show. I suggested it once, like trying different challenges. I came up with a whole list of challenges, artistic challenges, things that, because we, as artists, we know what we're doing, and when you get pretty good, it's fun to kind of do something crazy. Like I thought, what if we had an art show where we all had to draw with oven mitts on, just to see how, just to mess with you, or draw with your opposite hand. If you're left-handed, draw with your right hand. If right hand, you have to draw with your um, draw with your left, and just see how that turns out. I have drawn with my left before. It's really weird. Not in a while, but it's a strange experience. It's not as good. Well, it's not as easy, not as fluid, but fluid, yeah. Yeah. Um, okay, so this arm, got some kind of reflection on here. Bigger brush. Yeah, simple brushes. I don't really understand the purpose of all those fancy brushes. And I've seen guys on these shows and they paint with what looks like a rectangular shaped brush. I don't understand how that works. It seems like it's constantly working against you because I'm going in every direction like a pencil. You want to be able to move it this way or that way or whatever. And if that's, you, I just don't understand that. So if you guys are watching those shows and going, how do you do that? Uh, I don't know why they do that. Sometimes I watch some of these tutorials myself, and I think they don't know how to teach this because I'm an experienced artist and I don't get it. And if I don't get it, I'm pretty sure a beginning artist isn't going to get it. I always use soft edge brushes, by the way, not the hard edge ones. Unless I'm doing something that's kind of, mechanical. Does that look good enough? This isn't really that good. See, a lot of times I'm painting online, I'm just like, I'm a little distracted because I'm talking, but, uh, and then may go back later and fix it. Let me turn this. I'm having trouble with this arm. And I used to lighten it from that direction. So everything's learned. It's like, how do I know how to paint like this? Because I've learned it already. I studied it. But if I don't know it, then I don't know it, and I have to go back and learn it. Then I know it. But it's not like you sit down and just draw magically, unless you're some sort of genius. But that I am not. It's hard work. All right, I think that's done. Now you take your. By the way, if you when you're doing this move around tool, if you want to get it back to where it was, just double click, touch it twice, and it clicks it into shape. There in Photoshop. So, hey, look, that's done. It looks kind of cool too. Yeah, I like it. It doesn't suck. Yay! Sometimes I surprise myself, like, hey, what? That worked out. I had no idea it was going to work out. I just kind of found, along the rules, and the next thing you know, you're looking, and go, it's done. Wow! Surprises anybody. Okay, let me catch up with the chat here. Way behind. Shit. Zombie Boy says it's taken me 2 years to finish the first book with crappy detail. Still working on it. Yeah, well, that's the process. If you're if you're a young artist, it takes a lot of time to learn your craft. So it's just learn how to draw. That's the thing. Study and learn how to draw. Then you're ready to create a book. But did you sign your work before doing it? Yeah, I did. Well, that's just my standard thing. I have it, on a different layer here. Uh, where's the layer here? Yeah, so yeah, I use this all the time because when I actually sign my name, like I worked actually hard to make this thing look legible. If you see my sign an actual piece of artwork, it doesn't look that good. It's I wish I could do it bold like that, just so everything, all the lines are nice and perfectly spaced and everything, but I can't. It looks like kind of like crap. So yeah, I dropped that in advance. Are all these dudes naked? Well, like more or less. It's like a Rosetta painting. So this guy's got some pants on. So yeah, it's art. You know. I heard that one popular artist say that zooming in to add detail was pointless because the reader won't, yeah, won't see it. Yeah. That's what, especially digitally. I used to like, I think I did that Two Fisted Manly Tales one comic book all digitally. What I like to do is I like to draw because, and then scan it in and then paint the drawing because what that does is it keeps me from, you know, this, you can see how crappy that is. But if I work on it digitally, then what happens is I'll tend to like finish this super tight and I'll spend like a half an hour on it or something. Then I'll pull back. Go, oh, it was only half inch in size, three quarters of an inch in size, and that's just it's just gonna take all your time away. But because it's drawn in, I know I can keep the color pretty loose, and when I pull back, it looks pretty tight. So I mean, I could tighten this up a little bit better probably, but right there on the edges, anyways. But it keeps me from getting um spending too much time on something too detailed, especially when I do storyboards for advertising, for TV commercials and stuff like that. When you got to just crank this stuff out. If I've tried drawing on the computer to do it and it took way too long, I still draw in pencil, scan it in, and color it, or add gray tones. It's because it's just way faster. The drawing with pencil and paper is still way faster for me. Um, let's see. Oh, don't sell yourself short. The Sistine Chapel wasn't finished overnight. Take your time and do the crawl. Yeah. Yeah, I think you work on it until you're happy with it for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Never, I know, Tafari, mostly, I don't understand the square brushes. I don't get it. You're trying to, especially when I'm drawing, like, especially when I'm drawing a figure. I mean, I'm going in here and painting this thing. It's like, I want to put a highlight here. You see me, I throw a little color, a little highlight on the face there. That would be a square, like it doesn't make any sense. Why? I want a round brush, just like a regular brush is kind of. So yeah, don't understand. But maybe it helps them keep loose, perhaps. I don't know. Let's see what else we got. Um, Zombie Way. I ain't young, but it's my first comic. But you're not old as me, are you? You're not like 59, are you? Does Photoshop have an actual size feature? I believe so. But I know what the size is. Let me see. Bring up my template. Where's that template? The page layout. There it is. Let me drag this to the top of my layers palette. I'll show you the template I'm using. So I know, exactly what this size is, which is 7 inches wide. By 10.5 inches high. That's the Kablam. So something from Kablam. So I just use that. There's a trim edge, that. But it really doesn't matter what your size is because as long as it's proportional. Okay, now here's the thing is I just did all these figures and stuff, and that's done. But I'll show you why it doesn't matter so much because I'm putting a layer over it like this and a layer over it like that. So it kind of just covered up pretty much everything. But you see why I needed to do that in the picture. It's like this is competing with the guy, and the guy must be king. The guy must be the focal point. So I took it down a little bit, but that still didn't do what I wanted. I wanted some more color, and that's why I added blues and reds in here. So it's a multiply layer, which a multiply layer in Photoshop, it multiplies everything. Like if I switch this layer to normal up here, you can see that's what the actual layer is. And, it's a soft, it's a gradated color. But I want to, when I put multiply, it multiplies that color with what's underneath. So it's this stuff, this painting that I did, it will come through even with the color overlay. See, like this, especially right in here, it's that purple and that blue, red, a lot of this stuff. So that's why I push the color when I'm not afraid to push the color. Make it really red and make it really, like on this guy, like this whole thing, it's really red. But I knew that I probably would go in here and put a color over it of some kind, and that would uniform the whole thing together, and even more so with a dark and light layer here. So now we're talking. Okay, next up is just now I just got to do the bodies on the side, and that's not going to be much of because again this will be faded so far the back. The bodies, let's see, bodies left. Okay, here we go. All right, the gray. I might want to. I think I'm going to make them turn this adjust this to make it brown. It's locked, so I can just go in here with this layer. I want to still see it. Okay, now I'm going to just go in here and just paint away these guys. Let's see, where's the line work? Yeah, this doesn't matter so much because this is going to be very small. Just want to get the highlights. Yeah, there's a Frazetta painting where he kind of did a whole, well, there's several paintings where he does that, but one in particular where he painted kind of like bodies from hell and stuff. And and I think it was Ellie Frazetta never liked that painting. She was like, that, that's Frazetta's wife. She didn't like it on display. It's a pretty remarkable painting, but it is, rather, I could see someone not wanting, being a little disturbing. But it's hard to see what I really drew here. Let me see if I can light this up a little bit more. Oh, maybe I can't. It's kind of funny when you think about it. I should be able to understand what I drew here. Like I drew it, so I should know it. Like I don't know what the hell I drew. Okay, good. Probably good enough. That's all you need. This looks like a stomach. Like I said, no one's even going to notice this stuff. When you pull back, it's pretty small. Pretty small. But it's got some dimension now. That's good. What is that? Let me see if I can turn off the color, see if I can see it better. I still don't know what it is. Like this looks like a leg coming over here. Oh, that's a guy's body there. Okay. I got that right. Like this is his butt and his leg. This is a back. Yeah, I figured that out. What is all this right in here? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Yeah, that's cool. Now, when I put the color over it, well, let's see what kind of color I might got. It's a normal thing. I don't want normal. Let's see what I've kind of captured here. Okay, we've got a couple layers like that. Okay, that's good. That's a good layer. What is this? A multiply layer. See, that's so far back. And then I'll probably add this, either this layer or that layer to punch it back. Probably, I did this in advance, so you'll see what I'm planning on doing. I got some green layers here, and it's going to go for a darker color theme for the finish of this piece, which I decided looks better than right now. I have a dark figure against the light background. When I have some layers here, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make the final piece much darker in the background. So because I like the look of it. I tried it and I liked it. So great to me, and you could get so many different options with Photoshop. That's what's I love painting with. It's quick and easy. Okay, I got to go back. Let's see. $36. You're just a kid. Yeah, you're just a little baby kid. I mean, not little. You're probably bigger than me, but you know what I mean. You're just like this little young person, as far as I'm concerned. 36 feels like so young. Okay, now I'm going to do this side. That side's a incredible success. Let's see. The body's left. I label everything like this. Okay. And I want the bodies right. Right. There we go. Got it. Okay, I'm going to lock this, make sure this layer is locked. And looks like there's a little bit of overlap here. So I'll turn off the one in front here, this layer. I want to turn off my name too. There goes the credit. Give me a nice brown area here. Wait, let me turn those back on. Just cover this with a nice brown. Good enough. And now go in here with some white. And do the same thing I did that side, this side. What's that? Again, I'm a little confused. Wait, that's a shoulder. That's a face. It's a hand. Another face. Face. Well, there definitely is a face here. And what is that? Is that a butt? I don't know what that. Oh, I think it's chest area. Oh, weird. I have to look at the old drawing later and see if I figure that out. Original drawing. That can't be right. I don't know what that is. I'll just darken it out a little bit. I don't know what it is. There's a good art lesson for it. Just darken it out. There's a I forgot who said it. Just like, hey, if you can't figure it out, it becomes a silhouette. All right, that was pretty quick. I marched through that. All right. What is that though? Looks like a shoulder. This looks like a head. That's definitely a body there. And leg. I think that's shoulder. Yeah, I still can't figure out this. It looks like that's a shoulder here. But what is that? I don't know. Okay. So that's done like, sort of. I'm going to darken that area because I don't know what that is. Okay, cover it now with a layer. Let's see what layers I have available to me that I made. Got this one. Looks good. And we'll see how this is coming together now. Now, I liked this somewhat. Well, things I added since I came here last, I was there's a lot of negative space right here, and I needed to fill with something. So I thought, oh, he's probably got another side of these flaps, here on the side. So I could have that blowing in the wind, or look like he's just really farting really loud here or something. I don't know, but your choice. You can see it. Use your imagination. Okay, let's see. Now here's what so everything's done, I think, except for, let's see, what's this? Okay, there's some flame here I added. My name, there's my name. But you guys can tell me the next step. I'm first gonna read some chat here. That's a torso, Dan. Don't you know the difference between that and a butt? I don't know. I guess not. I'm just the artist here, doing my best. Yeah, just some mooning, yeah. A lot of mooning going on in here. Okay, so now this is what I was happy with. I thought this is fine. I'm happy with this illustration. Uh, it's working, but I thought, what if I try a darker scheme? And it turns out I like it. Okay, so here it is. Hit it with that. I'm turning on all these green areas. Then I did a layer. First, a layer of dark, just darkens the whole thing. Uh, then a layer of flame. This is where I think it really comes alive. It's starting to look cool. Now it means I have to go back to these other overlays that have the body on it and use the green one instead. So it doesn't so it's darker. And that's it. This is the color scheme I think I'm gonna go with. It sure does look like, war is hell. And I think it's working. I think it's working. Yeah. So what do you guys think? I mean, I would call this a done deal. I'm happy with this. Let's see. Oh, I can do an enhancement. Let's see. That just punches it up a little bit. This levels thing, it gives you contrast. So let me put this in the palette so you can see it. So, your levels, what this does is, okay, so with this, you can increase your darks and your lights. So right here, I can darken the darks like that. I can lighten the lights like that, which is interesting because it gives it, when you do that, it kind of blows it out, but it gives it sort of almost like that old time painting, like, for Zeta type stuff, basically bad printing and bad reproduction values, but it gives it kind of an interesting look. So, but I don't want to do that. This is the original. I pull it up right about here to where the light starts. So that means the lightest of the light parts of the picture will be showing here. So, and then actually I added a blue layer just for fun. What would have happened if this had a blue? I put a blue color layer over that just to see what that would look like. And that sort of adds that old time, look to it. I think that old time paperback cover, for Zeta type look. But I think it's fine, with the flaming color. So I think this is working. I got some debris I put in here earlier. That's good. Just some sketchy stuff flying in the air. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It worked out all right. So we'll see what Mr. Malin has to say about it. But let's see. He said that's badass. Yeah, thank you, Zombie Boy. Put some shine on the wet part of the blade. I could. I wonder how that would work. Yeah, I could punch that up just a bit. Now that means I see. Now I have to. What I can do actually is probably just because that's covered. The guy's covered with a layer of darkened. Like, see, on the guy itself, there's like a lot of these darkened layers, and an overlay of color. Now what I can do is I can I can create a clipping mask or a mask here, and this is non-destructive. It's kind of nice. I can certainly make this shine up a little bit better just by removing the. So does that look good? Let's see. Kind of cool. All right, what's the let's see this color. What's that one got on it? Oh, that's just the eyes. Okay. So let me try creating a layer mask on this too. Not too bad, not too bad. Yeah. And I can also probably add on top of this a layer, just a to really shine it up a little bit. Add a layer, little white highlight. Right here on the edge. Or not. I'll see. I'll have to take a look at this later. I don't want anything that's distracting from him. That's the only problem. All your attention must be funneled right to that face. That's a killer face, and I think anyways. And I really don't want anything competing with him. So I think I'll take that. I don't think any extra shine is good there. I want solid color. I think I'll take this one off. That didn't help too much. So I'm not sure. Well, let me pull it back a little bit. So these things are so subtle when you can see how you can play around with this all day long. Yeah, it's got a little bit of shine to it now. I think that's cool. I kind of like that. It doesn't compete. That's important. But yeah, it's kicking ass now. Magnificent. It is. I hope you think so. So yeah, done deal. I guess that's it. Videos tutorials over. Oh, I wish there was something like oh, you know what? As long as I'm here, let's just look at some of this stuff. Just talk about anatomy and learning stuff. And let me just go to an overlay, talk about a few things that bring to your attention because I have a great tutorial on hands, and and if you can see here, what like the rules that I made in that video, I follow. Yeah, I'd like to point them out when I'm doing this stuff. The curvature of the knuckles, the curvature of the hand. This finger's longest. This finger's less. These about the same size. This one's short. Stuff like that. Those are the things to think about because so many people do this. They'll go. Actually, like I can just paint right over the sucker. Hang on a second. They go with knuckles like straight across. And you can see how that kills the shape. Your hands don't really come together like that. And they'll have straight lines like this. And you see how that doesn't look like it's gripping very good. Because hands don't do that. So what you want to do. Whoops. Get a leg cramp there. Hang on one second, guys. Gotta straighten the leg out. Arr. Hmm. I'm getting injured drawing. I'm fighting through it. Push through the pain. You want that knuckle kind of thing going on, so you put a little more shadow here and here and here. You start to work that together. But again, now you pull that down and bring this in and bring one knuckle forward. If you notice when your hands are kind of like, they tend to rotate because what's happening in your hand, you're squishing up against the thumb. So this one comes forward a little bit, tends to, especially when you're holding stuff. So that's what I did. Get a nice strong hand, nice, really gripping stuff with a lot of life in it. This hand doesn't look like it's even defined. I had to go back and fix that. Why is that so bad? I don't know. But you can see this. This is it's fun to work in Photoshop. It looks like an oil painting in many ways, which is really cool. Where's the guy? There's the guy layer. There he is. Pop that this finger out a little more. You want him giving you the finger, right? So. That's kind of cool. Oh, the thumb, when you're drawing thumbs. I actually saw this on another tutorial where when you're drawing a thumb. Here, let me get rid of this here. You kind of think of it as a boat. Wait a minute, I need to give that color. Something you can see. Like it's a boat. And then the knuckle comes around like that. It's just a cool way to think of it. Because you're trying to think of a shape. You don't want it, you want to make that like around it like this. It's kind of got a top to it. And then knuckles behind it. Okay, let me see what else I can kind of point out on this illustration. Oh, you know what this guy needs? Might need it'd be kind of cool, like a cut. I think that'd be cool. Like I did it on him, kind of one of these, but they're kind of fun to put on. Makes the guy look badass. Where's my guy? The dude's there. I'm gonna turn off the all those layers that are the tone layers. But just put little imperfections, little cuts, maybe something like that, just to give him a little more like he's seen he's seen a little action. Define that form a little bit better. You can see I'm seeing this is why you can play with this stuff all day long. It's like, yeah, get it to be right. Oh, by the way, I did finish the Lord of the Rings or Rings of Power thing. It was just kinda awful, kinda awful. But, I mean, I like parts of it, I like there's certain things, those Balrogs, man, the freaking cool, the special effects on those babies. But, man, the rest of it just, uh, it's cringy. It's too bad. I made a video, I'll put it up pretty soon, of, I took the, Lady Galadriel from that, and I photoshopped her, and, pretty quickly, I got to be, looking like the kind of Galadriel the way I expect Galadriel to look, when I picture it in the books and stuff. Sort of a, angelic person. Again, not that the woman playing the role wasn't attractive. She was, a very attractive young lady, but not there's a difference between a character getting it, just having a good looking girl and having the character get it right. I don't have to worry about this being too warm because it's already warmed up with the layer overlayer. Very, very happy with this. Yes, I think it's cool. Any questions anybody has? I get overwhelmed with the features in the new art program, so I never bother learning new programs. Yeah, me too. It's like I know Photoshop. It's I know all the tools and I'm familiar with them. There's some great other ones, Clip Studio or things like that, but unless it's like intuitive and unless it's something like just really kind of dummy proof, I just don't. I just stick with Photoshop. It does all I need is some brushes. That's it. Then and some layers. And I don't need anything else. I don't need anything fancy. I don't need any textures or anything like that. But well, speaking of textures, that is a little fun feature. Now, here's what you do if you want to flatten a layer in Photoshop. You go, was it Shift, Option, Command E, and now you get a copy of it. Now, what's fun is this with this is I can take it into my filters and my filter gallery, and let's see. I gotta pull up something here. Oh, you won't be able to see this. Hang on a second. I gotta share that screen. Okay, I'm big for a second here. Okay, can you see that? Okay, so we got lots of filters here, which are kind of fun. Um, but in particular, I'm thinking of texture and grain, mosaic. Watercolor. I know there's a canvas. Let's see, where's the canvas? Cross edge cutout. I don't see a canvas layer. Huh. But it'd be fun to put a canvas layer on it, see what it looks like as a canvas painting. Huh. Yeah, that's weird. All right. Well, I forgot how to do this. So that's a lot of help there, huh, guys? Okay, stop that screen. Present the other one. I think what I can do, though, I might be able to do a canvas texture. Here it is. I can pull up a canvas texture. Put it over here. Now try different modes. Darken, multiply. Soft light. That looks kind of interesting. So it has a little bit like a texture, like a canvas. I think that's kind of cool. Yeah, multiply layer is kind of cool. So it looks like it's painted. You can really make it look like it's on a painting. But there's ways to do it to give it an exact texture, and it's usually through that filter. But I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, delete the canvas. Okay, let's see. Where are we at? I did an hour here. That's good. Let's see what we got here. I've been using Paint tool side, very basic, and the UI is intuitive. That's okay. Yeah, it makes it look like a tapestry. That it's cool when you put those textures on and stuff, but still, it's fine as is. All right, guys, I'm gonna end this stream, and thank you for coming and checking it out. You can go and look at the other videos. I actually did this mostly from start to finish and online, so you can watch me paint it. And there's a few areas where I kind of afterwards I couldn't help myself, and I kind of sometimes I'm coloring and I just like I can't stop. And I kept working after I turned the thing off. But a lot of it's there, and you can kind of get a good grasp on how. Because someone did ask me once, could you do a start to finish painting on this? And I have done that, so I should do more of that. But anyways, check out my tutorials. I've got the ones on the hands. I got good perspective tutorial. It's really, because man, they don't. I watch some of these tutorials online. They just don't know how to teach this stuff in a clear way, and especially perspective. Getting a real good grasp of perspective, man, that's it's really good to have when you're drawing. and so I got how to draw faces and stuff like that. So anything. Okay, let's see. Anything in your mind gonna stream next? Actually, I'm thinking about trying a little bit of like I like a lot of these characters that in the Comicsgate group and stuff like Aaron Lepresti's Kid Carter. It's a great candidate. I'm thinking of trying to showing people how to do an anime version or anime style of face because I always draw realistically, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to try to do. Now, Aaron doesn't like anime, admittedly, but I'm gonna see if I could convince him that some anime qualities are actually really interesting because some of the guys, I think the anime guys, the anime or manga, whatever you want to call them, each the different, both have tremendous qualities. Uh, some of their concept art and stuff like that for the video games or for their anime stuff. Oh, it's so good. It's like I think it's some of the best. I mean, these guys are really, really brilliant with light and color, and I'm learning a lot from them. So just looking at their work, and I want to try to incorporate some of that into my work. And so, yeah, that's what I think I'm interested in doing. Actually, another thing I want to do because I am, as you know, I am a Lord of the Rings major fan. I want to try to take some of the Ralph Bakshi or Rankin Bass Lord of the Rings characters as they drew them as in the cartoony way, and paint them and try to see how they look. Because a lot of times when I do these things, it's more of an experiment to see whether I can do something or challenge. Like if I said, if I was thinking of doing a Lady Gladriel, but taking the Ralph the Ralph Bakshi version of her and seeing if I can kind of paint that and keep the same color schemes and all that kind of stuff. Because it's interesting the difference, the bridge between anime and flat coloring and realistic painting. That doesn't always translate well. So I like to see if I can sometimes make that happen because sometimes I love the richness of colors of animation and sort of flat colors and stuff like that. So that's what I did initially with my um, those trading cards I did years ago for Marvel, the Fleer trading cards where I did the Hulk versus Wolverine and Spider-Man versus Wolverine and stuff like that. By the way, if you guys want to see my sort of my portfolio, like pretty much a cross section of everything I've done in comics, I use my Instagram for that. So if you go to my Instagram, Dan Lawless, I think it's just Dan Lawless Art. Um, let me look this up real quick here. What do I call myself? Yeah, Dan Lawless Art. That's DAN, of course, LAWLIS, and then ART Art. And that gives you, I put up a lot of stuff there that you can see, like from the beginning. I have older things there and newer things there, covers I've done recently. So you can kind of get a good overview of what I've done. And because I started in comics in '87 and first job Cloak and Dagger for Strange Tales for Marvel. And then I just did, stuff here and there. End up mostly working at Dark Horse. I really like that. But I did a 3-part painted series at with Timothy Zahn, the famous Star Wars writer, Timothy Zahn, and of Star-Lord, the Star-Lord character. So that was an experiment. You want to see how far I've come, check that out. There's some good drawings in it. There's some good color in it, but I could do so much better now. Plus, I love working with the computer because the one of the biggest advantages of working on it in Photoshop is that I can when I'm drawing a drawing, I always have a mirror by me and I look at the reflection, and that's cool. I can see my mistakes real easy. But in Photoshop, you just flip the image horizontally, and then you can see the mirror image. And then the neat thing is you can work on it and fix the mistakes in the flip side. If you notice a lot of these animators online, they're constantly flipping, and the reason is it just changes your perspective, and all of a sudden you see mistakes you didn't see. And so that's why, I love Photoshop because I can get a drawing to be pretty good, pretty darn precise and pretty good looking. And because a lot of times, you draw something and you come back later and look and it looks all weird and like, wow, that's arms way off. You couldn't see it. You have to see it with fresh eyes. But when and flipping the image, either with looking at a reflection in a mirror or flipping it horizontally in Photoshop, or any program, uh, I can do that. Will show you your flaws pretty easily, and it's also really disheartening too. Oh, Creative Faye's here. How you doing, Creative Faye? Um, yeah, I'm just checking out. So it's finished, I think. Faye. So I think it's cool. We'll see what Mr. Malin has to say about it. And but I am taking off. I am going to go do some other things, and but I'll be back with some more tutorials. Um, what's it? Amanda said, Amanda, how do you say Amando? Says that Hardy Fowler is constantly flipping when he's working digitally. I don't know who that is. Is he a anime guy or is he a concept artist? I should look him up. Let's see. Let me see. I'm very curious. Is it Handy or Hardy Fowler? Oh wow, that stuff's kind of cool. I dig that. Oh, that's funky. I love that. Oh gosh, I gotta. Let me see if I can bring this up. Present. Okay, yeah. Look at this stuff. Ooh, that is cool, man. Yeah. Look at that. Ooh, this guy's good. Funky. See, this is I really think these guys are some of the best. When you talk about great art in the world today, you're not going to find it in an art museum as much anymore than the modern stuff. You're going to find it now here within the fantasy realm. Look at that, so cool. Oh man, wow, wow, I love that. Anyways, yeah, very good, very cool. Okay, let's see my picture again. Yeah, Hardy Fowler. I have to check him out. Yeah, digital painter, fantastic stuff. Really, really cool, man. Thank you for. I always like finding a new artist that is really, really interesting and creative. And man, looking at his stuff, so talented. Oh my gosh, some of his character designs. Anyway, I'll let you guys go, but thank you all for stopping in, and I'm gonna see y'all next time, next live stream tutorial. See you. Bye.